Hello everybody, welcome back here to the channel. Welcome back, and I got pronunciation today. I don't mean pronunciation used for like everyday things. They can be everyday things. But my pronunciation is going to be especially on pronunciation and understanding how to pronounce and how to understand the pronunciation of place names. I don't mean place names like a bank or a library or a corner drugstore. My place names are actual country names and city names around the world. And teaching here in Japan, I found that they can pose a problem for understanding how to pronounce them properly, and also understanding when a native speaker says that country name or city name. That's my focus today. So I'd like to work on the various countries and cities around the world. These are not in any particular order other than a Japanese A-I-U-A-O order in a certain sense. For my research, I did it that way. So I'd like to focus first on some of the country names. Now, of course, I'm going to say these in English, and the Japanese will be up here on the screen as well. So, and then I'd like you to practice as well to make yourself understood. Now, it's quite easy to make the mistakes because you've been speaking it a certain way all your life, but you have to make a change to make yourself understood and to understand the speaker when that person mentions or says that name or city. Okay, so I'm going to go through a list of especially countries and cities that I feel cause a lot of problems with pronunciation here in Japan. Now, my first are two countries that are similar in sounds. And the first one is going to be Ireland, compared with Iran, Ireland, Iran. I want to do some pronunciation practice on these as well. So why don't we do this all together as well? So I'm going to say the country, and I'd like you to repeat. Ireland, Iran. Okay, those are the first two. Now there are two more that are similar in sound I'd like to work on. Australia compared with Austria. Australia, Austria. Okay? Beginning, of course, is the same, but we got an alia compared to an Austria. Australia, Austria. Next up, the vowel sounds at the end here, but not so in katakana. Argentina, Argentina, Argentina. Next up, a different vowel sound here. In English, it's India, India. Compared to Japanese, which is Indo, so India. Different vowel sound at the end, India. Next is a country that everyone's praying for right now, Ukraine, Ukraine, or the Ukraine, Ukraine. Okay, that's quite different than the Japanese equivalent, Ukraine. Next one I like to do is Egypt, Egypt. Practice on that one, Egypt. Okay, everyone? Now, you might be familiar with if I say the word Holland, Holland, it's quite different or slightly different from katakana version. But there's also another word that is often used for Holland is the Netherlands, the Netherlands. So they're both fine, but maybe the Netherlands is used more, at least in America anyways. The Netherlands or Holland as well, make the ha sound, Holland. Okay, next is the one that's maybe, when I say it, that Ray doesn't, not understood a lot, many times, is Qatar, 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 in the Middle East, Qatar. Work on that one, try to get that proper, Qatar. They're going to be holding the World Cup in soccer soon too, so that'll be a country in the news, Qatar. Next one is one that maybe never is understood the first time. It's a very small country off the coast of Greece, Cyprus, Cyprus. Try that one, Cyprus. Okay, everyone? And speaking of Greece, let's say Greece, Greece. Notice the s sound at the end, not the sh sound, Greece, Greece. And this one has a longer form. The Japanese equivalent is shorter. In English, it's Switzerland, Switzerland, Switzerland. Make sure you get all the way down to Switzerland. Now, the people there in the language is Swiss, but the country is Switzerland. Now, one word that's completely different than the Japanese equivalent, which is closer to the German sound, German word, but in English it's Germany, Germany, Germany. Pronunciation of that, Germany. Also, one that is quite difficult to understand, perhaps, is Turkey, Turkey. Turkey is the country name and also the bird's name, Turkey. After that, going back to Asia for Vietnam, Vietnam, Vietnam. A little bit different on the vowel pronunciation compared to Japanese and English, Vietnam. Also, this one poses problems, Belgium, Belgium, Belgium. That's with an M. Now, if you talk about the people, it's a Belgian. Spelling different and not an M at the end, but an N. So the country, Belgium. The people, Belgian, with an N. Be careful on that one. Portugal, Portugal. The T comes across as a CH sound. Portugal, Portugal. Okay, one more time. Portugal. This one also is maybe misunderstood often, or not understood at all. The Maldives, Maldives, or the Maldive Islands, which are very popular for tourists. The Maldives, Maldive Islands, or the Maldives. Got the V sound there as well, and the Maldives. And lastly is a small country, but last but not least is Luxembourg, Luxembourg as well, Luxembourg. Now there are hundreds of other countries out there as well, and there may be some difficulties in pronunciation. These countries in particular I've come across, or I've found that are quite difficult often for Japanese speakers to understand and also to pronounce. That's why I wanted to focus on these countries. But I'm not finished there. I also have some cities that pose problems. So moving on to cities now. This one is in Canada. It's the capital of the country. And in English, it's called Ottawa. 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 Maybe 9 times out of 10, when I say Ottawa, it is not understood. Unless somebody had studied in Canada, they may be able to catch that one. Ottawa. Ottawa. Followed by Munich. Munich. This is a good one here in the regard of the CH sound at the end in English is Munich. Whereas in the German language and also in Japanese, it's hen at the end, Munhen, but in English, Munich, Munich. So that CH at the end is a k sound in English. Pronunciations are different, the spelling is as well, Munich. Also nearby Germany, we have Vienna, Vienna in Austria, Vienna, Vienna. That's a short form in the Japanese language. You can make that vowel sound at the end in English. Vienna, Vienna. This one is maybe a completely different word, and there are city names in Italy that are in English are quite different than the actual words, the actual names. One of these is Florence, Florence, Florence in Italy. There are a few there. I've chosen Florence, but there are some cities in English that are quite different than the way they are spoken in Japanese. Florence is one of these. Now we'll stay in Italy with Venice, Venice, Venice. It ends with a S sound, Venice, Venice. And the next one is particularly difficult that I've found over the years is in Switzerland, the English pronunciation is Zurich, Zurich, Zurich. Try that one, Zurich. Get that Z sound at the beginning and also a cut at the end as well there. So Zurich, that's quite important because that one is often misunderstood. Zurich. Now, the next one is maybe not a problem, so to say, but I just want to focus on the pronunciation. In English, it's Paris, Paris, with an S sound at the end. So be careful there not to finish with an E like in Japanese. So Paris, Paris. And one more city I'd like to do is also does cause some problems sometimes is Warsaw, Warsaw, Warsaw in English, Warsaw, the capital of Poland. Warsaw. Now, these are select cities as well. There are probably other cities that I can put on here, but I can't do every country and every city. But if you'd like to work on any kind of pronunciation, like in country names or city names or any pronunciation at all, by all means, leave a comment and request. We'd love to hear from you, and you might have seen before, we do answer we do follow up on your requests, and we do make videos on the requests that we do receive. So do not be shy if you have any questions at all, anything you'd like us to work on here. By all means, requests are warmly welcomed, as you are every time. And thank you again for watching, and thank you for being here. And I'm glad you're here, and I hope you'll be coming back next time. We'll be back here again soon. Until then, everybody, have a great day, and we'll see you back here again soon.